off of the trap game. We knew there was going to be one, is what it is, but now can the Packers bounce back in a game that matters? That is what the question is for NFL Week 10. We have hit double digits. We are firmly in November. We are quickly approaching the bulk of the schedule where we start hitting divisional opponents left and right. But first, we have to go against the Super Bowl champions, the reigning Super Bowl champions, off of their bye week on Monday Night Football. So all eyes on us. Going to be a very, very big game. And I think for both teams, neither team's entering this game feeling super good about what they've done so far. I don't think. So I think it's going to be a measuring stick game, if we want to use that cliche, for both teams. And I'm excited for that because I think we're going to get clarity because both teams, I think, have been a bit of posers in their own right, both good and bad. Like, I think both teams have been so inconsistent. It's been weird. And I think we're going to get the best from both teams this week. Don't you think?
I do. Before we get into it real quick, I would argue that the game last week mattered because all of a sudden the Panthers are one win behind the Packers and are, if things fall the right way, Panthers could be fighting for a wild card spot. Not that they are, Panthers probably are a good enough team to be a playoff team. But it's not like that loss didn't matter.
No, it matters for sure. It would have been much better for the Packers to lose against the Steelers than to lose to
the point
Panthers. But I mean, maybe we should put more respect on the Panthers' name. I'm not going to give respect to the opponent like Matt LaFleur does in the first line of every press conference. No need. You know what? Disrespect to the Panthers. We feel bad that we lost to you. We're not feeling good that we lost to you. It wasn't a good loss,
Have we ever had the coach that was like just gave disrespect to the team?
Yeah. Rex Ryan, I'm sure, did it a number of times.
That feels like an NBA thing.
For sure. Yeah. NBA is more petty for sure.
Yeah.
Like it's firmly on us. We should not have lost that team.
Right.
That's what we need to say. Like, we look in the mirror and feel bad about ourselves because we even kept that game close.
Right.
That's what teams need to start saying, not, boy, they work their ass off. We're all professionals out there. Once you get between, the lines, between the whistles, anything can happen. No. Between the whistles, we expected to dominate them, and we're frankly embarrassed that we lost. That's what it should be.
Yeah, I think it'd be kind of a funny thing if, like, let's say the Packers did beat the Panthers, like the Bills did, like 40-9 or whatever, and the first thing LaFleur goes is, I don't care what people say. That's not a bad football team. That's kind of a funny gag.
Sure. Yeah. Got to give them respect. Yeah. Time and place. You can't just go through the same old lines every time there's a loss. You got to mix it up. And we'll get into it all. This has been a weird fallout week, I think, from the Packers loss, though.
To answer your original question, yes, this is a very important game for both teams coming up Monday Night Football.
Has to be. If the Eagles lose to the Packers, in reality, they should, like, their division is patty cake. They should be fine. But you're looking at the team who's number one in the NFC. You just lost to them mid-season. It's not like it's an early season loss. You're feeling bad, especially if the Eagles lose in the same way they've lost games all year long, where it's like, okay, Jalen Hurts was forced to pass the ball, or they just didn't pass the ball, and their offense is fully stagnant. Then they're scared. They're feeling bad. And if the Packers go up against the Eagles and they run for 250 on us, we're like, okay, same new year, same issue on defense. And then offensively, we'll see what happens. I don't know. It depends on who you ask around the internet, around Wisconsin, I think, in terms of what the issue with the offense is over the past week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. But everyone has an issue. And since we lost, the finger has to get pointed somewhere. Mm-hmm. And it seems like almost everybody's pointing the finger at Matt LaFleur. He is getting thrown under every bus this week.
I think it's fair, but I don't think Jordan Love is devoid of any criticism either, right?
I agree with you. There's been many people with many followers, with many microphones pointed in their face, saying Jordan Love needs more.
Yeah,
needs to throw the ball more. Like, the only issue with Jordan Love is that he's not given full reins to air it out and be a spread air raid offense, that's the thing. Like, usually I get mad at criticisms from like an Aaron Nagler, for example. That's his take. This week, I felt like I'm in fucking the Twilight Zone. I honestly feel like people watch completely different games or completely different teams all year long.
Yeah, I'm always in favor of just letting a quarterback sling the ball. But when you're in a position where you try to make the big play and you throw it up into triple coverage on a punt return, which it basically was, and then everyone's like, "Oh, that's just the Brett Favre in him." Like Brett Favre never made a throw that bad.
No, Brett Favre, when he threw it up into triple coverage, never underthrew a ball.
Right.
It was never a straight up punt, like you said. It was maybe he threw it through the chest of a defensive lineman.
Right.
Maybe he tried to do that. Maybe he did not give a damn about the middle linebacker who he made eye contact with the entire play. But he didn't just care. 1st and 10, throw it up. He didn't do that.
And that was a criticism against Aaron Rodgers, right? At the end of when they weren't winning, when they were making the NFC Championship and weren't, getting to the Super Bowl was, his numbers are great, but that just means he's not taking chances. And like, first of all, that didn't even make any sense, right? He throws to the open guys and he doesn't throw the interceptions. But when you put a player in a situation, right? Carolina kind of like ran the same exact defense that Pittsburgh did last week, right? Just that,
Yep.
just the too deep zone, just keep everything in front of you. And Green Bay was able to run that Drew Brees offense, right, and work down the dink and dunk down the field, and then hit those long plays. Carolina just didn't let the long plays happen, and the Packers just kept going for the long plays if they weren't throwing screens behind the line of scrimmage. Which I don't know why the Packers just didn't run the exact same game plan that they did against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's been, like we said, I think even as recently as last week's show, it's just whenever Matt LaFleur or Jordan Love are required to think and make adjustments and not just stick the basic game plan, they overthink and they overdo it. And I think that was very obvious in this game. But like, I don't think anyone's devoid of criticism in this game whatsoever.
Sure not.
But like, we can talk about it. Like, the main takeaway from a lot of the Packer people are, we're running the ball too much. We need to stop running the ball. We need to do an air raid. And especially in this game, they're saying that. And what I will say is we ran the ball perfectly fine in this game. Josh Jacobs, 1787, 5 yards per carry. He had a big run, but he was running the ball perfectly fine. We should have ran the ball more, in my personal opinion. But regardless, if you think that or not, Packers moved the football.
They did.
The issue is every time we got down there, we made a mistake and shot ourselves in the foot.
Well, the first, 3 drives I think they had 3 drives in the first half. It was 9 plays, 10 plays, 9 plays. They just didn't finish the drives.
Right. And who's to blame for that? You could blame Matt LaFleur. That's fine. Mm-hmm. We're just not doing the right criticism here. Right. Like, it's not that, we were doing bad plays. We are just running dink and dunk stuff. We need to throw the ball more, not run it. The offense is working fine. We just need to be a more disciplined football team. We continue to show that we're extremely immature.
Well, and where have we seen that before for how many years? Like that's right, yeah. like my silver lining for this game that I wrote down is that there is no silver lining. There's nothing like, Tucker Kraft got hurt, Golden got hurt. Like, cut the bullshit. Like, how many like and even look at the season. Have the Packers, they've probably had one good win against the Steelers. The Lions, 2 new coordinators, Commanders, they just got dogged by the Seattle. Bengals, Cardinals, those don't mean shit. Like, we've had one kind of good win all year and 2 awful losses and a bad tie. Like, some questions need to be raised because this is the same team all the time. And like, at the most basic form, if you can't trust a coach to beat Carolina at home in November when Bryce Young throws 100 yards, how are you going to trust this guy to win 3 games in a row when they probably have to come against 2 of the Lions, Eagles, Vikings, 49ers, Rams? Like, I just don't see what we're doing here if we're really all in. That's my main takeaway.
Yeah, I think that's completely fair. We didn't lose the game because Tucker Kraft got hurt. We didn't lose the game because anyone got hurt. I think we do have a personnel problem. I think we did before the game. We certainly do after the game. But it just comes down to discipline. It's every single time. We've shown bright spots in last week's game. We've shown bright spots all year long. We've had great games. Not great. We've never played a good 4 quarters of football. We never have all 3 phases clicking at the same time. And this is every year. This isn't just this year, obviously. The entire Aaron Rodgers era essentially was this as well. But we just can't fully put it together. We can't all show up at the same time. We can't wake up at the same time. It's really weird. And it's the immaturity. We play to our opponent's strength every single time. We said it before last week's game. And again, if you think that same Packers team we saw last week's going to show up this week against the Eagles, you're dumb. Because we're going to show up against the Eagles because we play to their strength. We might lose the game, but Packers are going to look so much better this week, guaranteed. And it's the inconsistency that good teams do not do. Like, you need to have some sort of consistency, because if you don't, then you completely change game plans. You don't have any identity if you have inconsistencies. And that's the issue. Every Super Bowl team has an identity. You go back to the Ravens Trent Dilfer team. They had an identity. You can criticize Dilfer. You can criticize, even if you lose a Super Bowl, criticize Rex Grossman Bears. They had an identity. I don't know what the Packers' identity is.
Yeah. We're also getting to the point of the season where, it's kind of been a fuse on a dynamite, and it kind of feels like it's getting close to explode, where everyone is bringing up special teams issues, right? The main talking point right now is the Packers can't really return punts, Rich Bisaccia is getting a lot of crap for that. I'm wondering what those same people who were happy hiring Rich Bisaccia and went out as a mob and took spears to Mo Drayton, how they're feeling now. But with injuries on the receivers, right, with Jaden Reed, with Tucker Kraft, with Matthew Golden, and with inconsistencies in the punt game, it's almost like they had a guy in the offseason that they cut before the season for this exact situation, Mecole Hardman.
Yeah. And if this is such a big issue, we just had a trade deadline. You could have went and got somebody too.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a hole on your team, if you're going all in, you identify this as a weakness, try to address it. We're not trying to address anything.
Right.
We're bringing in Asante Samuel Jr. and working him out tomorrow, which is great. He could help cornerbacks. Do I think we're going to sign him? No. It would be great if we did. I think he can play football. I don't think he's outstanding. I don't think he brings us over the hump per se, but I think he's a good football player. That's not a Packer move though. It's, we'll reevaluate around draft time, and we'll try to replace our weaknesses in the draft. We all know you don't draft to fix a team in that first year. The players you draft aren't expected to be contributors that year. They're expected to be contributors 2-3 years down the line. So if the Packers are saying we have a cornerback issue, we have a right guard or both guard issue, we have a returner issue, and we try to draft them, that's not going to returner. You can fix in one day, but anything else, the Packers just aren't. There's no cohesion. There's no direction. This is the same thing. I wrote a story about there's no direction for the Packers 4 years ago. It's the same thing now.
I don't mean to keep criticizing, because I don't love criticizing, but when you get a game like this that you were a much better team, like the criticism is deserved, especially when you're giving out huge contracts. I mean, we were paying what, $70-80 million between two edge rushers, and they have one combined tackle against Bryce Young. That's fucking crazy.
Then how much money did we pay Aaron Banks at left guard?
Yeah.
How much money are we paying the entire offensive line, the center and left guard, right tackle? They didn't really show up whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I mean, Jordan Love obviously is getting paid a boatload of money. He's not a game changer. You could go down the line, I suppose, but I mean, we're paying McManus, I suppose, too.
Well, people do not like McManus right now.
They shouldn't.
Yeah,
they shouldn't. He's clearly hurt.
Yeah, and it kind of sucks for him in a situation too, when
for sure
a guy comes off the street and is incredible in 2 games, and then he comes in and misses a kick immediately. That's not great, but
horrible. It's horrible. I think outside the red zone, I think he's made 2 field goals all year or something.
Yep.
There's some bad stat like that too.
To add on, just not finishing on drives, right? Because that was a very winnable game. You just put the ball in the end zone. That's all you really needed to do. And I know that's kind of it's an obvious thing to say. It's a tough thing to do. But against the Panthers, you put the ball in the end zone, you win that game. I mean, Packers didn't punt in that game. That's how bad they were at not finishing drives. Yeah,
I wrote down. What did I write down? Packers touched the ball 8 times, didn't punt, and scored 13 points.
Yeah,
that's tough.
Has that happened ever?
Not to good football teams.
Yeah. I mean, even if you settle for a field goal each time, that's 24 points.
Correct.
Yeah, and I think we only miss 1 field goal in the game.
Yep.
Yeah, it's bad. And then we had an interception that wasn't in the red zone, obviously. We had the fumble, so we had 2 turnovers. And Panthers, LaFleur, everyone's saying the exact same thing, which is I hate this take, but Panthers played the exact game they needed to play to beat the Packers. But like, what's that game? Run the football, don't turn it over. That's how everyone should play every game.
Correct. Yeah. To add on to like they had the downs on 4th down in the red zone when Love tried to make a play, which everyone was kind of criticizing Love for, which I guess it's whatever.
It looked stupid.
It looked horrible, but he just threw it up trying to make a play. He was incredibly lucky that the Panthers guy dropped the ball because that was a pick 6. There was nobody within 20 yards of him. But that play, throw it out. Like that doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah, that's not the play to criticize Love for. He was keeping the play alive. Yep. He looked so ridiculously stupid, so it's fun to just laugh at. But yeah, no one was open. Romeo Doubs stood, I think, out of bounds in the back of the end zone watching.
His controller died.
Yeah, like what are you doing, brother? By the way, if you need another Romeo Doubs clip, listening to him talk about Tucker Kraft as if he died this week is awesome. Like Romeo Doubs isn't a real person. No. I don't understand him. But it was, I don't know, it's a bad game. Obviously, I think every phase of the game should be criticized. I'm going to talk about the defense, which everyone said did their job next, because I don't think they did do their job. But limiting the opponent to 16 points, obviously, you should win every game that you only give up 16 points. The offense didn't show up. The offense moved the ball. They didn't finish drives, like we said. Is it Matt LaFleur's fault? Yes. Do we need to abandon the run? That's one of the worst takes I've seen so far. And special teams needs to get fixed quickly for sure, obviously.
Yeah, I don't know what changed in people's heads. Like this time last year, everyone was so incredibly excited that Matt LaFleur ran the ball 70% of the time, and he had the best run scheme in the NFL, and Josh Jacobs is the next coming to Jesus Christ and everything. And Josh Jacobs, like you said, he had 17 for 87 yards and a touchdown. Like this, as we've said since Matt LaFleur got here, even with Aaron Rodgers, it's always been a run first team. It's always going to be a run first team. The offensive line is built to run first. It's built to take a step forward, not take a step back.
I will say, though, the offensive line's taken a massive step backwards.
Yes.
In terms of run blocking.
Yes.
In my opinion, what the Packers, it's just to fix the running game. I think we need to do 3 things. Personnel-wise, other than go out and get people, which would be awesome. But if we're just going with the people we have, I would move Elton Jenkins to right guard. I would put Jacob Monk at center. That's what I would do. I understand you need Jenkins to help out with Banks. That would be nice, but we just need to. I mean, something like that needs to happen. Jenkins cannot be at center right now, because he's decent. He's not as good at center at the current moment. Banks is horrendous. Jordan Morgan should get cut, and then Sean Ryan should be the full-time guard. So if you need to go best 5, I suppose I would do. Banks is out. Jenkins in at left or right, doesn't matter. Put Ryan in at the other guard and then Monk at center. So I would do that. 2, we need to stop trying to out-scheme people, because that's all we're trying to do right now. We're trying to out-scheme them to get a better running game, and that's not working. We're not a good enough offensive line to do that. We just need to go one-on-one and do simple scheme. Just go one-on-one blocks, duo blocks, zone blocking. It's super easy. Just do that. And then 3, we need to stop running out of the gun. Even if we just go to pistol, Jordan Love does not have the footwork to be an under center quarterback. That's why we don't do it. And when we do it, I think he had to play this last game where he almost fully pitched it to nobody because he lost the football.
He's a tripper.
His footwork's one of the worst. He probably has the worst footwork of any starting quarterback in the league right now. But if we just go to pistol, it's at least going to speed up that action a little bit, because the Packers aren't moving bodies off the offensive line. So all we can do is turn them a little bit. And we're not getting the line fast enough, because obviously the whole progression to snapping the ball back and going, and Jacobs isn't a fast runner, all of the above. Like the whole flow is slow and bad right now. It just isn't working. So we need to change that in a hurry.
We're dangerously close to losing a Josh Jacobs. Since we got him, we talked about how he just gets 300, 350 carries a game. He's going to wear out. He's going to get hurt. I don't know if you guys noticed it. Every single run last week, he got up and he was holding his wrist. And the next one he was holding his knee. And the next one he was holding his shoulder. Like he was like, it felt like he was a cyborg put together in that game. Like I think going against I guess one of the probably the better front sevens in the NFL in Philadelphia right now that Jalen Phillips is in town. That's a little scary for Josh Jacobs. I guess longevity this season for a player that we so obviously need to rely on, because at this point it's really hard to say that Jordan Love is a guy who can carry us in the pass game, right? That run game really needs to step up, really needs to get going.
Well, we said it going into the Steelers game that the tape was out on how to stop the Packers offense from the Cardinals. Like, you just play the Packers straight up, because we can't win one-on-one anywhere.
Yep.
Offensive line, wide receiver, anything. So Steelers did it, and obviously a big second half changed things. Steelers were also completely just misaligned. Panthers did it this week. Eagles are going to do it. The only thing we can hope for is, I love Fangio. I think he's one of the best defensive minds of all time. He could overcomplicate things and fuck it up. So we're crossing our fingers for that. But yeah, I didn't see Jacobs all worn out, but that makes sense. Rico Dowdle did the same thing. He was holding his groin the entire game. Yeah, that's not good. We are making a concerted effort to get Emmanuel Wilson running the ball more.
Right.
He just there was no space for him this game.
Right.
But yeah, it will be needed. I do have 3 plays for us to look at from this game in terms of our defense. Do we have anything else to say about the game before we take a look at that?
No, it sucked. I mean, people are calling it the worst loss in LaFleur era. I put it right up there with that week 1 against Jameis Winston in the Saints, where they lost 35-3 or 38-3, whatever that was. That was a horrible game.
Yeah, that was tough.
But no, it's the biggest upset in the NFL since 2023. 13.5-point favorites losing at home. It's a bad loss. To say it bluntly, it's a bad loss. So it's really hard to believe that this is, the Packers are the best team in the NFC when you lose to the Carolina Panthers by 3 points at home, when you should have came out and did the same exact thing that the Bills did and beat them 40-9.
Yeah, I mean, for me, and somebody call this an overreaction, the Eagles game becomes a must-win if they want to make the playoffs. Just looking at their schedule: at Giants, Vikings, at Lions, Bears, at Broncos, at Bears, Ravens, at Vikings. Even if you split with the Vikings and you beat the Giants and you beat the Eagles, right? That's 3 wins. That gets you to 8. Not saying they can't, but like, where are the other ones coming from? Because those are some tough teams, and the Ravens are getting to that scary good point that we've been talking about.
The whole division's playing good football right now too. I mean, they're not. Most of the teams aren't putting it together the same way Green Bay is, also struggling. I mean, but every team has something to be afraid of at the current moment.
McCarthy looked good.
Yeah, he's got moxie, which stinks. Like, I don't want the guy on the other team like being the dude. Like, he's a leader.
He's a franchise guy.
Yeah, I hate that.
He's a guy that you have fun rallying around, not a guy that your teammates call Pookie.
Yeah,
right.
That's a tough look.
Right. Him just being in a trance, getting the game ball after the game, just being a fucking psycho. I do like that.
I also don't believe that the Bears are a real football team. I think they're a greatly constructed football team. I think they play great football sometimes. I think they play horrible football sometimes. It's one of the weirdest teams that I've ever watched in my entire life.
I don't know how they won that game.
Yeah, they just won it.
Bengals gifted it to them. Like, they had no desire to tackle.
Bengals gifted it to them after the Bears gifted it to the Bengals.
That was worse than the Minneapolis Miracle to me, because at least one of the Saints player took the other guy out. They just had like 3 players miss a fucking tackle.
Yeah, there's no excuse at all. Like, that play shouldn't have come close to happening, and then even while it's happening, it should have been stopped. So, not good. Okay, let's look at 3 plays here from the Packers game. Make sure to stop me if this doesn't look good. But we are going to look at 3 runs. We're focusing on the Packers defense right now because I am watching this from the point of view of the Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles are going to give the Packers similar looks to start this game, just to see if the Packers make the same mistakes. Because if they do on the first drive and we do not adjust from what we saw against the Panthers, we're going to get run out of the building, literally. So, first thing, do you see my mouse cursor, by the way, or no?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, cool. First thing you notice from the Panthers last week is how they lined up on the line of scrimmage with their offensive line. For NFL standards especially, super short line splits.
tight.
They played super tight. Obviously, receivers tight in here too. But the biggest strength of the Green Bay Packers defense is that we rally, we fly around, we're just extremely fast. Maybe we over pursue things, but even if we do, it seems like there's 3 other people flying to the football. Like we make plays running to the football. What the Panthers did is they just shrunk the field, and they took away that strength. You can be super fast, but if we shrink the field, all of a sudden it's man on man where the whole field is the trenches. It's just a battle, and the Panthers won that essentially. So we're going to be looking at 3 running plays here from Rico Dowdle, all of which, spoiler alert, went for at least 10 yards. And, Eagles, like I said, are going to show us similar looks. And just imagine then this with the Eagles offensive line, Jalen Hurts at quarterback, and Saquon Barkley at running back. So everything gets upgraded this next week. So let's take a look at what they do here first. And I will say, so like I said, they had super short line splits. They have a tight end over on the left side here. They had the, 3 wide receivers here. Looking at how the Packers align, we pretty much always have an end outside the tight end, which spaces them out pretty far. A lot of times we see Edgerrin Cooper stacked up straight up on the quarterback. He's a little bit offset on the guard here. And right now we have Quay Walker outside here. We see Xavier McKinney come into the box a lot as well. And that's just super easy to run against. But right now, just looking at this offensive front, like I said, they have a four-man front on the defense. Where would you run the football? I mean, count. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 against 1, 2, 3 right here.
Yeah, it's right between the guard and the tackle.
Yeah, and they had this all day, and the Packers did not adjust to it. So right now, if I'm the Panthers, what I would do, this is an easy duo, and then both of them work up there. You got here, but this play is something special. They could have just done a straight zone, but this play is super fun. Watch this. Okay, so paused right here. Again, everyone step to the right. Zone scheme right here. Pretty simple. Center is posting this D tackle shoulder, and the backside guard is going to be able to get over because he does that. If this guard blocks this D tackle, it's completely over. Offense wins, essentially, because this is the guy who can make a play. Right guard took a step here, and he is actually looking up to backer. Rashawn Gary is right here, and Rashawn Gary is looking at the tackle who completely turned his fucking ass to the right and is booking it this way to the flats, which is interesting. And you see, they wouldn't be able to see this, but Bryce Young completely opened up here, showing it's going to be an outside play. So safety coming down. Rashawn Gary's getting upfield here. Linebacker is reading the quarterback, running back, but let's just see what happens here. Okay. Again, tackle booking it out here. We got the guard running straight past Rashawn Gary. So Rashawn Gary's reading that, and there should be alarm bells going off in his head, right? It's a play, run to his side, and no one's blocking him. Now he's thinking, okay, they must have made a mistake. I'm going to blow this up. I'm going to absolutely make this play, right? Yep. D tackle here was able to get across that backside guard's face, but all they needed to do is get a piece of him, and he slowed up because he's not going to make the play. Quay Walker is still back here. He's getting lost in the mix. He didn't really move. And watch Rashawn Gary here. We'll even back it up a little bit. Watch what the Panthers do with Rashawn Gary. So if you didn't see that, this is a toss crack. So they're essentially trapping Rashawn Gary, and they're just getting up to backer. Wide receiver comes through, gets a piece of them. Boom. Javon Bullard is trying to create contact instead of looking for the football. You can see that here as well. Not sure why it's not playing. Watch here. Ball can run on his backside. He didn't even know. He's just trying to fight.
What is Evan Williams doing there?
Evan Williams doesn't do much either.
Like, he just ran outside away from the ball carrier.
Yeah.
Watch the safety up top here. Come down.
Yeah.
Run straight outside.
Yeah, you'll see that in another play too. Run fit's not good, but even so, they're outnumbered at the line of scrimmage, but then even so, it's just no one's read their assignment. And, they on top of that, they bring the motion over here. They all move away. It is what it is. Easy gain for the Panthers. If he cut back, that would have been a touchdown. Luckily, he didn't. Xavier McKinney makes the play. Is what it is. Okay. Next one.
Not great.
Wait. Not great. But again, one thing we'll notice, and I'm really going to stress, again, look how tight the Panthers are here.
We're on top of each other.
Yeah, it's insane. I can only imagine the Eagles are going to come out right away in the first quarter doing this exact same thing and just seeing if the Packers align this way. Because, again, it's super simple to count here. Look at this. We got center, guard, tackle, and then on this side, we got 3 tight ends, which is an awesome formation. I love that. But, like, where would you run the football? It's so fucking simple. We got on the shoulder of the guard, we got our D tackle, and then we got Rashawn Gary outside the tackle, way ass out here. So, one-on-one there, boom, boom. That means guard
Zach,
has to block Xavier McKinney.
Can you move our pictures on the stream?
Where should I put it?
Like maybe underneath or something.
Because
from the view we can't see Rashawn Gary out there. That should probably work better. Yeah, perfect.
Okay. Thank you. Maybe. There we go. Okay. So yeah, Rashawn Gary's way out here. And this is just how we're taught to align, right? But it just creates such a big running scheme. And all the pressure is on Xavier McKinney in the box to make the play. And he has this fucking huge guard on him. Like, no matter what the run is, it's going to be a cutback or they're going to make a call at the line of scrimmage to run right here because this is a wide open gap just naturally. And if this is Lane Johnson and this is the rest of the offensive line and Saquon Barkley, we're screwed. We're absolutely screwed. So, honestly, look, watch the center. He's probably calling right here. He's counting them. he's counting them and saying, that's what we're doing. Okay. Pretty simple. And they're not doing anything creative. They see what this front is. It's man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. All we got to do is create a little hole because there's nothing left. It's Evan Williams back here, and that's it. So straight, and when you get a front like this too, they're essentially doing a straight handoff to the back, running back, find the hole and hit it. Like it's called probably to the left side here, but it's an obvious cutback, right? If it's a outside zone to the left, there's always a cutback to the right. If it's an inside zone, same thing. So center gets a piece there. Again, guard releases straight up to Xavier McKinney. He's outweighed by 150 pounds at least. And then Rashawn Gary has to stay home. He absolutely has to stay home because he has to have contained. Otherwise, it's off to the races there too. But watch 93. He really messes the entire play up here. Because all the center does is give him a soft shoulder and rides him right up field. So now the only chance they had is if that D tackle takes up 2 gaps here, and he didn't even take 1. He gets run up, guard on Xavier McKinney, Rashawn Gary is here, and this is just a wide open lane. On top of that, Cooper is just standing here.
Phil.
Yeah, you gotta fill it there, man. He chops his feet, waits for the lineman to get to him. What a nice guy. And then again, it's just, he's gone. Evan Williams did a great job reading the play and making a play to make sure it wasn't a touchdown. But if the safety's making the tackle, it's not a good defensive play, right?
The deep safety.
Deep, right, yeah. It's not Xavier McKinney. And Rashawn Gary did all he could do there as well. It's just the scheme. You know what I mean? He held home. He didn't get run up field, and then he gets a piece of him to slow him up. So Rashawn Gary did a good job there too. This isn't necessarily an individual player issue other than 93. It's just,
well,
not great.
I mean, Adrian Cooper just got concrete feet too.
Yeah, but even if he filled, he would have just taken a different gap. Packers are screwed from the get-go. Not to mention, we're not built to stop the run, even if we had the guys. Last play here. This is final drive, under a minute left. We're at the 50-yard line. And just to show you, yeah, go ahead.
Can I say an initial thought on this that I don't love?
Yeah.
Is Quay Walker on the edge and Micah Parsons in the middle?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Quay's on the edge. Micah Parsons is sort of lining up wherever he wants to do on this drive, I think. But yeah, any other team, any other situation against any other opponent, probably. Under a minute left, you have to score. Again, Panthers come out and are standing foot to foot almost at the 50-yard line, just saying, hey, we're going to run the football. It doesn't matter. Look how you guys are lining up. We're going to get 10 yards of pop right now anyway. McKinney is now deep safety. Evan Williams is in the box.
I like Evan Williams. I think he's a fine player. Him and Micah Parsons should never line up the same amount of yards back from the line of scrimmage.
True. That is probably true. Yeah, nothing really creative is happening here. You'll see a little bit of stemming, just maybe hoping the Panthers get confused. But the Panthers weren't doing anything creative all day, so it didn't matter. But again, natural running lanes are here. We got Rashawn Gary outside the tackle, way outside the tackle. We got head up the tackle is the defensive tackle for the Packers, and then the other side of the center's shoulder. If we're at least head up the center here, that makes sense with the number of guys here. I don't know. In my personal opinion, if we had strength, have them head up the center, that would have been better. Looking at this, we actually have the tight end here going in motion, which takes Evan Williams completely out of the play because Evan Williams is
reading the tight end.
Reading the tight end. So if we don't have bodies here anyways, Evan Williams is flying out of the play because he's watching this. Quay Walker gets slowed up because it's a read on him. And then he gets hit from the tight end anyway.
Well, the defensive tackle just got blocked right back into Edrin Cooper, too.
Yeah. Come on now. It's hard not to. So he had no chance of getting to this shoulder because the center's posting him there. Cooper runs again. He's trying to fill. He's doing his best. He's trying to get in there.
Hey, look who's stacked together now, Zach.
What'd you say? Sorry, you're broken.
Look who's stacked together now. Cooper, Parsons. See, we got it eventually. It's just.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. See, we got a stack.
Yeah, we certainly did. Like, there's just nothing here, man.
94 has to win that one-on-one.
He has to. I mean, that's what the whole
it's tough
defense relies on.
Yeah, it's really tough to say win a one-on-one against a guard who's coming at you, but you have to.
In every single one of these plays, too, we have a safety playing linebacker.
Yeah.
And we know that the Panthers, all they're doing all day long is running the football. Like, that's not going to work.
Here's my question. Why are there not 8 in the box at this point in the game?
I understand for this drive because maybe they air it out, but the other two runs.
But
second
even then,
third
like,
quarter, I don't know.
Like, what would you rather have? Lose on the ground or have Bryce Young beat you? Like obviously they missed their stuff and it's more than that. But I mean, it's fucking Bryce Young. He's got 102 yards at this point. Shit. I mean, come on.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Normal conditions, you don't want to do that, but yeah, at some point you got to take a chance, and the Packers really aren't even taking a chance. They're not selling out against the run. They're not guarding the pass. I don't know what they're doing.
Can you fast forward it to the point of the contact, the block, and the keep going. All right, stop. So yeah, I mean, just looking at this, and I know it's right with the motion, it kind of takes Evan Williams out a little bit, which again is why bringing giving some creative motion is great to get linebackers and safeties' eyes moving. But Rico Dowdle had 2 holes here, one between the guard and the tackle, and then one between the end and the tackle, or the end and the guard. Like,
yep.
It's an interest. I don't know. I'm just throwing brain dump in here.
I mean, watch the Eagles run this exact play.
Right.
Imagine running this zone read with Jalen Hurts. This is Bryce Young, who's not even a running threat, really.
Right. This is just a dive.
Basically, yeah. To win the game, basically. Right. Midfield. So, yeah, guard hits the center here, saying, hey, need your help here to post the shoulder. Got to make sure we get this. Boom. Taken care of. Because the way we lined up here, this is the easiest block of all time for this guard. Not to mention, he just stood up and caught him, I guess. That's not necessarily the first movement I would like to see. Yeah, nothing happened. Like, the Packers didn't do anything. Panthers didn't do anything.
Yeah,
nothing creative here.
The issue on that run is as soon as the center turns his ass, like that's a hole that's anyone can run through.
Like what needs to happen for this to work? This is the gap, right?
Correct.
This tackle is already out of the play.
Yes.
For the Packers. So, and then the next guy is here. So either Cooper and Evan Williams have to make the play, or there's nobody else here. And Cooper's first step was to the right. Evan Williams is following the tight end. And then there's nobody else. I don't understand it.
Can you go back one more time to the first step for the offensive line?
Yep.
Why does Cooper step right?
I think it must have been a stunt or he sold out. I'm not sure. Like, because he's stemming a little bit beforehand, right? Like, if he actually just stayed put where they initially were, it would have been
pulling the play up.
Yeah, because he's here. If he stayed here, that's great.
Yeah, just thinking as like I guess it's probably as elementary of linebacker play as you right. You read the center or the guard or whatever, and you just step the way that they step. Everyone on the offensive line steps right, and Cooper steps the other way.
Yeah, there really isn't, and they got lucky. Like, this could have been much faster too. It was a bad snap. At least for 5'9" Bryce Young or whatever. I was watching because I was thinking maybe Rico jab stepped this way, but he didn't even do that.
Like, the only thing that's going that way is Jatavian Sanders, but Cooper is not looking at Sanders.
Right. Yeah, I guess I don't know.
Linebacker play.
Right. Yeah. It was just misaligned.
Yeah.
Because he didn't shoot the gap either, so it's not like it was a stunt. I'm not sure what the plan was. Obviously, yeah, I don't know, because Quay's coming, and then Quay makes a good decision to stay home because, Bryce Young could have pulled it. He had to. Yeah, and then Evan Williams gets caught behind all of this. And it's just, it's gone.
Yeah, that's bad linebacker play.
It's bad linebacker play, but again, just looking at the people we got here, I don't understand how this team is built, because we're not built to stop the run, which I said before this year started. And who are we playing? We're playing the Vikings, who start by running the ball. We're playing the Lions, obviously they're a running team. And then the Bears coming in as Ben Johnson. We know he wants to establish the run and make that offense work. Mm-hmm. Once we get into these teams that are running the football, this is what it is, man. But yeah.
Now, can you imagine Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson in this offense? They're going to run for 300 yards.
That's the final boss. But I mean, even still, Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley's this week, But yeah, this is what I think we're going to see from the Eagles' first drive. We're going to see these short line splits where they're going to line up just showing an obvious run. And they're going to say, hey, let's see if the Packers line up in this exact formation. Because if they do, they're going to keep doing it until the Packers get out of it. Now, if the Packers end up moving this tackle, even if they keep that tackle there, moving him inside, and then bringing another linebacker in or something, just trying to stop it. Okay, cool. That's great. That's fine. Or having 4 down linemen and not, 2? Yeah.
2 down.
Yeah, that kind of blows my mind too. Micah Parsons is great to have. Obviously, he's a game wrecker. He's probably a top 5 player in the league. Having a positionless player in a situation like this doesn't necessarily make you better.
Yep.
Is what it is. But yeah, Packers can stop it. Packers can fix it. I don't think they can stop the run consistently. We'll see if they can. But that is the key to stopping the Eagles this game. Obviously, there's no doubt about it. Because the Eagles, if they have to rely on the arm of Jalen Hurts, they've won games that way. But I think we have a much better chance of beating the Eagles that way than if they can just force feed Saquon Barkley,
Especially with A.J. Brown injured.
Right. Even if A.J. Brown plays, make Jalen Hurts make the throw. Make him make the right read and convert the throw.
Yep.
Simple as that. Anything else before we give our predictions? Packers actually opened as favorites, despite everything we have said so far. Packers at home, Monday Night Football, 2.5-point favorites, 45.5 over under. Same over under as last week. But the Packers are favored essentially by a field goal at the current moment. My initial thought when I saw that line was, A.J. Brown is out.
Right.
I'm not even sure if that's the case anymore. So we'll see.
The interesting thing that I just saw, I've never heard of this website, but Sports Betting Dime They say the Packers
Mhm.
win 30-20, and I think that's fucking insane.
I think any scenario, both of these teams have shown the ability to just shoot themselves in the foot. So I guess if I'm not sure if there's a scenario that overly surprises me, but if we're getting the best out of both teams, Eagles win. If it's just a simplified game plan, Eagles win. And Eagles had, they're coming off of either the Eagles show up in the first quarter or the Packers show up. You know what I mean? Eagles are coming off a bye. They could come out fast asleep, or they could come out fast. I don't know which one it is.
Yeah, this is an interesting one to me because I think at face value, I think everyone on earth, after watching Green Bay lose to Carolina, you look at this line and you think that Eagles are an incredible value right now, right? Just given who, reigning Super Bowl champs, we know what Saquon Barkley is. But I mean, and this is nothing to do with football, but I mean, it's something, right? That why are the Packers favored in this game? Makes me want to take the Packers.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I mean, essentially, Lambeau is good for, in my opinion, typically around 4 points.
Sure.
They do different home field advantages or whatever. Usually a home field advantage, I would say, is between 1.5 and 2.5 points. So maybe they're viewing it as a pick 'em, especially because Lambeau crowds haven't been Lambeau crowds, I would say, for the past couple of years. But even still, what was that?
Too many kids.
Fair.
There's too many people who aren't between the age of 18 and 55 at Packer games.
Also, they don't allow you to fucking stand at games in Wisconsin anymore, which blows my goddamn mind.
Really?
People get pissed off.
People get pissed off, and then ushers make you sit.
Yep.
That's why.
Really?
Yeah. It happened even at the fucking Brewers playoff game 5. They were yelling at people to sit down. The ushers said you'll get kicked out. It's crazy.
Did not know that. Maybe that's why people weren't at Camp Randall, huh? Or is that a different reason?
Let me tell you, I was there. It was kind of fun being able to leave 5 minutes into halftime and just walking straight up to get a box of peanut M&Ms. That was pretty cool.
I have kind of a funny story before we get into our predictions on that. I was sitting at the bar this weekend, and I was talking to the guys next to me about sports, whatever. And I overheard the guys next to me before I was talking to him. He's talking to his buddy. He goes, "I'm the biggest Wisconsin Badgers fan that there is in this world, and I can't watch this team because they're so bad." And the other guy goes, "So you're not the biggest Wisconsin Badgers fan?" And that was very funny.
I mean, fair, but I get the point from both
I understand it. Yeah, for sure.
Because I don't know the last game I watched. It's been a minute.
The only game I watched this year was the Alabama game because I bet on Alabama.
I will say the Oregon onside kick to start the game was awesome and so fucking smart. They didn't score from it, but just why not?
Yeah, might as well. Who cares? No loss. Okay, so let's give our predictions. Let's get out of here, unless you guys have any other keys to the game. Obviously, there's many keys, but
I have an important question after to kind of put together.
After.
Yep.
Okay. Is this related to the Flurry Sports podcast question that was really important? Or no? If people haven't seen that uploaded on the Flurry Sports YouTube page today, Luke asked a very important question. How many beers is the perfect amount? We have that video up.
Force myself into the podcast.
I do like the idea of doing like a very professional deep dive in research on that, though.
Listen, I don't know if it's because I'm small or I just haven't trained enough or I'm not an alcoholic. I cannot fathom having 15 beers and not being passed out. I don't think my body could handle it.
The issue is when you drink 15 beers, you get hungry. And then when you eat, that's when you pass out.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, or just feel disgusting.
Well, yeah, but I think you feel that either way.
Well, I don't know. If it's just beer, you feel a little proud. I feel like you get a second.
For sure. Okay. You look at the recycling. Usually what we do when we're sitting around the fire, or at 4th of July, and you dump probably hundreds of cans in there, whatever, not hundreds, but you get my idea. I usually wake up in the morning and I go down, I'm like, we fucking did that. That's sweet.
Exactly. The next morning you feel so proud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I usually wake up early, you wake up early, whatever, and I go down and clean everything up that didn't get cleaned up, and I'm like, that was pretty good, guys.
Mhm.
We should pat ourselves on the back for that.
There's always a hell yeah moment for
Yeah.
sure. Okay.
So I'm gonna take Philadelphia 23-20 in this game. To your point, Zach, I think that Green Bay does play to their competition. I think this is a game where we showed kind of some misalignment for the Packers. Philadelphia has not been what I thought was going to be a 17-0 season. I think Philadelphia is a very good team. I think they're loaded at a lot of positions. I think they're working through a lot of things. I'm not going to call it a Super Bowl hangover, but they're in situations where it's like, hey, maybe this isn't as easy as the playoffs were last year. I think they have new guys coming in. There's probably going to be some alignment issues. I think there's some opportunities that the Packers can take in this game. That front seven really scares me with Jalen Phillips now. I think it's going to be tough to run the ball. But I think even when it's been tough to run the ball, the Packers have found a way to run the ball. Right? Cleveland was supposed to be an issue, and Jacobs was fine in that game. Even last game, I know Carolina's not the greatest defense, but kind of felt like they've got nothing going. That run game worked. I think Philadelphia can be exploited a little bit in the run game. It's going to be really interesting to see what they do with the receiving game. Right, Luke Musgrave has to have a bigger role in this game. How much does that really mean? Because I think Philadelphia's linebackers are fast enough and match up well against tight ends. So this has to be a grinded out, 10 plays, but you have to finish those plays with field goals. You have to finish those plays. If you're not going to get the first down, you have to, get them to, their first. You get Philadelphia starting on their 1 yard line, have to go 99 yards. It has to be that kind of game, and it has to be a big, if you're going to punt it. Good thing Packers have Daniel Whelan. I think this is kind of a fight it out Slavic game. I think both these teams are kind of similarly constructed in a way to want to run the ball and want to stop to run the ball and all that. So I think this will be a really fun game. I think the NFL is going to get its money's worth here. And I don't know if it's going to stick, but there are reports of a little bit of snow coming this weekend. So really? if there's anything, it's too warm for snow to stick. But I mean, the NFL is kind of licking their chops to get some snow on Monday Night Football between two of the better teams in the NFC.
This is the game you wear the fucking winter white out to. I don't know why the fuck we do it in September. But originally I was going to say 31-21, but I figured I'd appease Luke and get a scoregami score. So I'm going to say 25-18 Eagles, which seems like a weird score that hasn't happened yet. Yeah. But I love it. It feels like a gritty Monday night where you're going, what the hell just happened? Like, the Eagles are working through some shit, but, like, Sirianni is a fucking menace. And I think he's just, like, this. He has a statement game every year. I feel like this is one of them where he just puts his balls on the table and starts talking shit to fans. Goes for 2 up, like, 15, like, whatever.
I like Sirianni. I think he's a fun coach to have in the NFL. It's bananas that Philadelphia Eagles fans, like, want him fired every single year. But I guess Philadelphia Eagles fans are kind of bananas in general, so I guess it makes sense.
They're from Philly. They're not smart.
Yeah.
No, they're not. I also don't know how good they travel. I'm interested to see like how many are in Lambeau. They feel like a group that doesn't really travel. They're good fans, but they don't travel.
It is a gold package, so I imagine a lot of those tickets get sold. So maybe you get more Eagles fans than you probably would if it was the green package.
Maybe.
Green package hasn't looked great for some games this year either.
Agreed.
Fair enough. We do have Jair Alexander coming back to town. Sure. That's a big deal. Eagles have made some moves at the deadline. Packers notably did not. I'm going to go with the Eagles win 27-17. I don't know if it's necessarily close. To your point, I think the best thing for the Eagles in this game is that they get to come off the bye and not play at home. I feel like all the pressure's lifted off of them. They just get to come in and be like mercenaries. They're coming in, proving that they are the team. I think they, like last year, they came off their bye and were just killers. And I could see them doing that again.
Is there any pressure, though, that, like, I guess maybe it's because I'm just in the Packers sphere, but nobody expects the Packers to win this game, right? I guess the gambling odds do. But as like fans, like everyone watching the Panther game, like, no way we're going to beat the Eagles. Is there any pressure to say, hey, the Eagles have to beat the Packers now?
I don't think so.
Both teams have to win, I think.
Yeah, I think there's still too many of those establishment Packer fans that are like, the Packers always hire the right guy. They should always be projected to win. They always do the right thing. Like, that's just, I don't think you're ever going to get rid of that. I think there are too many of those people.
Yeah, that's just the Packers culture at this point. Also, a lot of owners, so a lot of people have pride in the team that they own, quote unquote. But yeah, I don't know. if the Eagles, however, come out, like they need to come out fast too. Like they can't come out asleep at the wheel, and the Packers continue to do that. So, playing on prime time could jumpstart that a little bit. So neither team starts slow, but if either team comes out just behind the chains right away, that's not good news for that team. I think they potentially could fall apart. And then the team that makes the least amount of mistakes in this game is going to win the game. And I don't know, man. Like I think Eagles are going to have some creative pressures, and Jordan Love needs to be on his shit.
Yeah, for sure. Like
for all the people who want Jordan Love to throw the ball 40 times, you might get it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I've said this many times, but we're in year 6 of Jordan Love now. Like, we got to stop babying this guy like he's still walking into the league. Like, at some point, he's making $55 million a year. He's got to be the guy.
And you can criticize him fairly. It's fine.
Right,
you don't need to make up stuff, and you don't need to feel bad about it. He has great plays sometimes, but his arm strength supposedly is good, but he has some of the worst mechanics in the league that he underthrows balls. He makes boneheaded mistakes when he gets bored or lazy. His footwork's incredibly bad, and then his eyes are bad. Like he doesn't know where to look still. He doesn't know how to read a defense yet. So I think you can criticize him, and you can criticize Matt LaFleur too. I think everyone has a little piece of the blame here. Offensive line certainly has a ton of blame. Defense, I think, still has some blame. They have things to work out. And special teams, obviously, like they need to figure their shit out too. So yeah, this is far from a perfect team. This is far from a bad football team, but we need to stop lying and just pushing agendas. Like just look at this team objectively. It's not that hard.
I might have to go down to Potawatomi tonight and place a bet, because right now the Eagles are plus 112 to win, which means putting down a $20 bet gets you 42.40. That seems, like you said, Luke, that seems incredibly unfair. It seems wrong somehow.
But
it's weird.
Makes you think.
Yeah, I know. I hate lines like that too. It's like, what do they know?
Like,
who is so gonna not make the flight over?
This is so obvious. Philadelphia comes in and just runs the ball. Like we saw Rico Dowdle go for 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. This is so obvious. Saquon 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, just run dives, run counters the entire game. But if the Packers are favored in this game, why?
I will say, yeah, that's the way to bet it. If you are betting the Eagles to win, you at least should have Saquon Barkley touchdown.
Yeah.
Like I would probably do Saquon 100 touchdown and Eagles win, and that's probably a cool plus 300 something.
Right.
At least, probably
I can
more.
Probably tell you.
You look for that while Luke asks his important question.
Yeah. So Zach, you brought this back to the attention. We've had a whole show dedicated to this, of kind of ranking like what the best kind of potato is. You just did, the top 5 potatoes. I think one that kind of gets really underrated when we talk about potatoes is, I don't think people really think of it as a potato, but it's a potato chip. So
that's a good point.
I was eating some kettle chips the other day. I'm like, I think I'm out on kettle chips, first of all. But I'm trying to rank where, how the different variations of chips, right? You have Doritos as kind of a corn chip. You have baked chips.
Mm-hmm.
You have Pringles kind of revolutionized the game. I think that was more of a can, but how they're kind of, like football-ish kind of chips. Is there a certain chip that you think stands above all of it? Certain variation?
Great question. I think I'm also out on kettle chips for whatever that's worth. There's too many flaws in it. If I have too many, I can't hear what's going on.
I like the idea of them.
Destroy your mouth.
Yeah, I like the idea, but you go through war eating kettle chips.
Yeah, you too. Yeah, that's the only activity you're doing at that moment.
Right. And then your mouth is fucked up for 3 days.
Yeah, it's bad. I had one of those caramel apple suckers last night too at like 3 a.m. Sliced my tongue wide open. Oh, yeah. It was a battlefield in here. Best chip. I like a tortilla or a corn chip a lot. They're up.
Tortilla is versatile.
It really is.
I like the Ridges. I like Ruffle chips.
I was gonna say Ruffles pretty good. This isn't a category I would say is the best, but I really like Sun chips. I'm a big fan. I also like the baked chips.
The baked cheddar and sour cream onion, or sour cream and onion, cheddar, sour, whatever it is. That's the greatest chip that's ever existed.
Even just the plain baked.
Yeah, agreed.
I think it's solid.
So they don't have a Saquon touchdown, but if you put together Eagles and Saquon to rush for over 100 yards, that is plus 350. So 20 nets you 90.
Yeah, throw another. If you get to throw a touchdown on there, that's gonna be plus 700.
That's wild.
So
I don't mind that.
So where do like Cheetos and Takis come into play?
I'm not the biggest Cheeto guy, but I do love Takis. I like the blue Takis.
Cheetos you have to be in the mood for.
Blue
And
Takis.
I'm a Cheeto puff over a regular Cheeto.
No way.
Yep.
No.
Yep. That's the correct answer.
No?
No, you're just chewing air. It's like eating cotton candy.
No.
Not quite
You
cotton
like cotton
candy.
candy.
I like cotton candy flavor. I don't like cotton candy. I don't like the texture of it. I like the flavor. I don't like eating cotton candy, I should say.
I mean, the flavor is sugar, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
But the blue Takis destroy you in the morning.
Yeah, they do.
Just absolutely just annihilate it's like, I guess it's good for like a bowel cleansing, but just annihilate you.
They're so good though.
Yeah, they are pretty good.
I mean that's my Taki of choice, at least, is blue.
I had a buddy.
I mean, those Takis are still tortilla though.
I guess.
I think it falls under that.
They're just variation. Yeah, I guess it's kind of like it'd be like new metal off of metal rock or whatever.
Bingo.
I had a buddy in college. This is great. Roommate. So we, you're in roommates with college. You sit down and you watch a movie or watch a sports game or something. We didn't have much money in college, right? Nobody does. So when he'd go grocery shopping, he'd buy like 4 bags of the blue Takis. He goes, okay, this has to last me 2 weeks until we could go shopping again. He'd go through 3 bags in one sitting in a movie every single time, and it was very funny.
3 bags in one movie?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's destroyed.
Yeah. Yeah. It was the best.
Every part of you is destroyed. Your stomach's destroyed. Your tongue is completely gone.
Yeah. Your hands look like Smurfs.
Green.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Well, if you want more ranking stuff, you need to just start banging the drum for the ranking show to come back, people. It's an off-season activity, but you know what? It's probably going to happen. So definitely subscribe to the Flurry Sports YouTube channel. Go watch the video to find out at least the preliminary hypothesis of how many beers is the perfect beer. But I do like the idea of getting lab coats and getting in the lab and really hitting the books here to figure out the research.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, there's going to be different categories for sure. We got to have the shitty category, which is hams. Jake can figure that out himself. Yep. I don't subject myself to that. But I mean, yeah, every kind of beer. We'll figure it out. If you have any ideas how many beers is your perfect beers, please submit that as well. But we will be back next week to talk about everything that was Monday Night Football. It'll be a little bit more fresh in our mind with a Monday night game, and it'll be fun.